Basic Latina podcast is an intimate conversation with friends about love, life, wellness, and everything in between. You know, with the political climate that we have going on right now, it's been really hard for people of color. And I think people have been coping, not poorly, but we just haven't had a space, right, for us to cope. So I wanted the podcast to be around wellness. So I wanted to basically sit down with someone, figure out what is it that they do and how they stay grounded, right? Because if you are a financial analyst and you work at a big firm, but then you're the only woman of color, how do you cope with that? What do you do for self-care? You know, do you have to code switch? So when I thought of the podcast, I knew what the theme was before I got the name and everything else. As I started sitting down with the guests, I'm just like, yes, I'm loving how this is coming out because it was totally like around wellness and self-care and about how people of color stay grounded. On top of the fact that, you know, I care about wellness and self-care, I am a licensed clinical social worker, so I felt like as a therapist, it gave me an opportunity to bring in therapy to people's ears and through the podcast. So I don't sit there and do, I don't analyze anyone, I don't diagnose anyone over on the podcast, but I think since I have already been trained in like asking open-ended questions and kind of shedding people's layers, I was like, ooh, this already kind of makes me qualified to sit down with people and tell their stories or help them tell their stories. We will launch in January 2018, and I hope that it will come out weekly. I wanted it to come out on Fridays. I was intentional about picking Fridays because I wanted people to have something to kick off their weekend. People can look forward to honesty on the podcast. So I'm very, very candid about things I've gone through. People can look forward to laughing. I really like making people laugh, and I'm attracted to laughter. So honesty, laughter, you can learn something from every single person that I sit down with. So there will be people who will give you specific tips on how to help you with a particular issue and allow people to kind of really prioritize themselves. I think after each episode, it's very, very clear that each person that got where they are in their life, had to prioritize themselves, had to put themselves first. And I think if you're like a mom or you're in a relationship and stuff like that, that's hard. So I think people get out of it is that they aren't alone with whatever they're struggling with, that there is a way out, and that prioritizing themselves is going to be really important for their mental health. The Basic Latina podcast is an intimate conversation with friends about love, life, and wellness. I'm so excited to share with you guys this podcast. We launch January 12th, hopefully, and we will be having episodes every week. So if you guys can rate, review, and subscribe, we're going to be on Stitcher, YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes. If you want to know any updates about the podcast and what episodes come out and who the guests are, you can also go on Facebook and on Instagram to find out more updates about that. Also, we have an inbox. So the inbox is intended for you guys to write in any letters to me. I am a licensed clinical social worker, so if you have any questions about any of the episodes or any questions of specific guests, I can answer your letters on air. Of course, everything will be confidential. And that email is basiclatinapodcast@gmail.com. So I hope that you guys will listen in, stay well, and take care.